This is a very different forest. You can see how it's orange. It just has this kind of orange feel. Everything about a quarter way up the trees is burnt. The ground is coming back, like there are grasses and things like that growing, but there's a lot of burning action that's gone on here. And it looks like a lot of the trees are going to be fine. Like it's just kind of the trunks of them at the base that got burned. I don't really understand how that happens. You know, as opposed to like the whole tree just going up in flames. So I've been trying to kind of figure that out. Like, what was it like when the fire was coming through here? You see, stumps are pretty much burnt to a crisp, but there's still a lot of stumps that are untouched. You see the burned bark goes up about 10 feet on some of the trees. It's very strange. And actually what's happening right now, I don't know if you can tell, but it's smoky out. I mean, I can really smell it, and it's making the air look like really thick. And there's even ashes coming down. So the wind is coming from that direction over there. So somewhere over there, there's still some sort of fire going on. It's a weird feeling when you're camped out in this obviously very dry area and knowing there's a forest fire happening. It can't be too far away if there's ashes coming down. Look at this bark. I mean, it's charred down at the base here. It's just charcoal. The terrain out here is actually pretty easy for Dodger. It's not super rocky. It's fairly soft. So he's actually hiking around here pretty good. It's a little hot today, but we got some good clouds, so the ground isn't bad. Like here in the shade, I mean, it's not warm at all. And that's what I really gotta watch out for, is the ground. Because when the sun is full, the ground gets super hot. And Dodger cannot handle it. He hates it. Echo's being a good dog. He has a new device on his collar. I'm still testing it. But so far, it is pretty amazing what it's doing for our outdoor lifestyle. Look at this part of the tree that's left here. I mean, it's barely even in the ground anymore. There's just a little bit that's still attached. This whole side is completely freestanding. Like I could probably push it over. Yeah, I could easily break that off. And the weird thing is I've been noticing a lot of big holes. You see how big this hole is? And like you can see, that's where the roots would go. And this tree looks like it it was already dead, like it was just a stump. But these holes, I guess the fire just consumes the tree from the base, and then it eats away at the roots, and then you just are left with these huge holes. So there's these big holes all over in the woods here, and there's really no remnants around. I mean, that makes sense. It just turns to ash, and then the wind just blows it away. See, here's another hole. You know, that's almost a foot deep. Oh, that rock is hot. It must have just been in the sun. It's funny, everything is just making me think of fires. Like, oh, this rock is hot because there's a fire underground. And another big hole. I mean, it's very obvious where the roots were. That's a big one. Come on, Dodge. That is kind of creepy. That's a big column of smoke. And when the sun shines through it, it just makes everything look orange. I wonder what lives in here. This is a very fresh hole. A lot of grass debris out here. Makes me think of a jackrabbit. But man, I don't know much about the holes that animals dig. What do you think it is? Put it down in the comments if you have any idea. Let's see how far down in there I can get. Maybe it'll pop out. Echo! Hey! Okay, if you just saw that there, he took off after something. He didn't go too far up to where those rocks were. But I can't tell sometimes if he's chasing after a deer that I don't see, and there's antelope out here as well, or if it's just a rabbit or a squirrel. In this case, that's all it was. It was a small animal because that's as far as he went, and then he stopped. I'm going to show you something that I got for him now. And I've been testing it out for the last couple weeks, almost a couple weeks, 10 days, something like that. Echo, come here. Let's show everybody what you got. Stay. I got Mr. Echo, this tracker right here. And I'm going to put a link to it down in the description because this thing is freaking awesome. I love it. You can see it's kind of chunky, it's kind of big, and the main thing I'm testing is the battery life. And let me tell you, it's about 25% right now, so I'm going to charge it. But it's been, like I said, about 10, 12, maybe 14 days. It's starting to get a little bit scratched up, but it looks like it's going to hold up really well, and the battery life is something I really like. I'm going to do a real review of this product so you all can learn more about it. I just know that I'm going to want to do that because I love that thing on there. It's just changed the way I hike with Mr. Echo now. I mean, it's unbelievable. You do have to pay per month, but it's $10. It's a little bit less than $10 a month. And let me tell you, like, the peace of mind, it's just insane. Like, I've been a lot more lenient with him. Like, I'm almost trying to get him to run away from me now so I can really test the finding feature. If he's gone, then I want to see how well it works as far as me like hiking out to where he is and then bringing him back to camp. So I don't have to like wonder where he is for an hour or two that he's gone. I can just go find him and bring him back. Because he'll run for, a couple miles. But this tracker, it works. It works like a dream for somebody like me that's in these remote places. It needs a GPS signal, which is like a satellite signal. So it needs sort of a clear view of the sky. But even in trees like this, it's fine. It's been working great. And in fact, that's the only places I've tested it was in trees like this. It's not a super dense forest, but this is not an open desert. This is the woods. We're in the woods. And I can track him. It automatically tracks him every few minutes. It plots where he is, like all through the day and all through the night. It knows when he's sleeping, so it kind of turns off a little bit when he's sleeping to kind of save the battery life. But then it has the live tracking feature. And you use that basically when he runs off. And I've really only had to do that like a couple times so far. And he really didn't run that far, but I could see right where he was going, and you can see the speed that he's going. He was taking off one day, and I was like, oh, he's going away from me. I couldn't see him at all. He was in the woods. I turn on the live tracking, so you just look on your phone, and you can see the little path that he's taking. And then I start whistling for him, and I can see him turn back around as soon as I whistle, and he comes back. And I'm like, oh, my gosh, he's coming right back to me. And just that feeling of, like, I know what he's doing, even if I can't see him. It's like this crazy, like, sense of relief, that I whistled and I can see the reaction on the map. So I'll get into the tracker some more. I just wanted to give you guys a taste of it because I'm super pumped about it. I'm super pumped about it. And it's actually really inexpensive too to buy the device. It's like 40, 50, 60 bucks. They have a few different versions of them. So it's super inexpensive. And if you live at like a house or an apartment, someplace where you have a Wi-Fi base station, then you're only going to need to charge this thing like once a month, apparently. I don't have that because I'm in a trailer and we're always moving. So there's certain features I can't even use, but I don't really want those features. For my purposes, all I want is to be able to, when he runs off, to hit a button on my phone and see what he's doing. And it's amazing how well it tracks him. And it'll tell you the speed, and it tracks like every 2 seconds. So it's very like instantaneous the way it tracks. Yeah, just wait for when I do the review on the product. And they're not a sponsor. I just bought it, based on the reviews. Like, you can click on the link in our description and that helps us out. If you read the reviews on there, like, you don't have to take my word for it. Like, the reviews on there are actually really good. There's one bad thing that I would probably say about it, but it hasn't been an issue yet. And so wait for my review and I'll talk about that. Now, Dodger he's out here hiking really good. We're kind of in a rocky area right now. I'm trying to get back down to the grass. But what I've been learning about him is I kind of want to get a tracker for him too, because his eyesight's just not working like it used to. And he's not doing as good at following me when we're out hiking. So I have to keep a really close eye on him. And if I turn around and don't see him, he may have just started walking off in a different direction. I've seen him do it. And I mean, that would be worse than losing Echo if I lost Dodger in the woods. So I'm kind of thinking I might be signing up for another dog tracker. Dodger's got his brace still holding up. A couple people have asked me about the brand of the brace, and I still have like a sticker on the brace, just because I don't want to, share a product with people unless I feel like it's something that I would recommend. We've been using that brace now for, I don't know how long, must be a month, a little over a month. And I'm ready to share the name. It's not something that a lot of people are going to need, it's because it's just for certain injuries. They do make a couple different varieties for different kinds of dog injuries you can get. It's kind of expensive. It's like a $50 piece of basically fabric, but it seems to be well built and it seems to function really well. And it stays on him. It doesn't like slide off. It's not something that's annoying. It's a little awkward to learn how to put on at first, but now that I have a little routine with Dodger, he waits for me to put it on and he waits for me to take it off. And I give him a little pat on his thigh that tells him, okay, step out of it. I put it in front of his face when I'm gonna put it on him so he knows what's about to happen. If you're interested in it, then click the link down in the description and there's a link directly to that product. The sizing was the biggest issue, and I'm kind of wondering if maybe I got one that's a little bit too small for him. It fits him really well, but maybe I could get a size up. The thing is, I wanted to get exactly the right size, and the sizing is the hardest part. And if you read the reviews on there, you'll see a lot of people have sizing issues. And some people say like, oh, you want to size up or you want to size down. I measured his leg and everything, so I think I got a really good size. But it is possible maybe I got one that's a little bit small, but if I get the next size, maybe it's a little too big. The important thing is it's helping him walk, and it's not causing any issues. I take it off of him whenever he's resting, which is a lot. He rests a lot, but so he pretty much only wears it when we're out walking or hiking around, and then I take it off of him so it doesn't cause any chafing or irritation. And then also it reduces the wear and tear because he doesn't need it like when he's just rolling around in bed. And I wanted to give a little shout out to David. Now David, you sent us some treats, which I showed a few videos ago for the dogs, some rawhides, and Echo is almost done with that bag of rawhides. So actually, the treats that they're going to start getting now is just carrots. If you want to send us treats, you can send us whatever you want from Amazon and I'll give it a shot. There's a list on our Amazon wish list of treats that I know the dogs like for sure. They're really not that picky, so it doesn't matter. But David, thanks for sending us those. And also, David sent a super thanks, which is like this thing on YouTube where you can donate money directly to me and the dogs. And that's like a super awesome thing to do. And I hope people only do that. You can donate like $2 or $100 or whatever. I hope people only do that if you have like a little bit of extra money, like, because, we get a little bit of money from the views. So if you watch an episode, the ads that come up, I do get, a half a penny or whatever, and that adds up over time. So just watching our videos and hitting the like button, let us know you're watching. We like to know you're watching, and making sure that you're subscribed and hit the bell, because then you get notified of all of our videos as soon as they're released. And that's really all you need to do to help us. And leave us a comment. That helps. And also it gives me something to do. I like to read the comments when I'm out here in remote places like this. There's really nothing else to do. If I'm not hiking, then I'm just kind of on YouTube, like reading your comments. what you got. Oh, you found a random bone. That's weird. You never do that, buddy. It's kind of a fresh bone. Maybe that's why. I can't let you have that. I will trade you though. And this is for you, Dodgy. One of our awesome subscribers got this for you guys. Get it.